Hey folks, just doing a part three of that little mini series I've been doing on Sansa's Lie. Um, wasn't expecting to do a part three, but I came across this article. I was sitting on Facebook, and it was on the exact topic, so I felt the need to do another part because my other two videos just been me essentially speculating on what's going to happen, and this article, interestingly enough, confirmed at least some of my expectations. Um, Sophie talks about how, let's see, with Sansa starts growing confidence or change this season. Definitely a season she's sick of being a pawn in everyone else's game. Uh, and finally, she's playing the game. Every time she goes somewhere, someone else doesn't work out. So just doing her own thing and trying to make people listen to her. It's very much about her taking her own path. And I feel that's a good turn of events as far as her stepping up to the plate and not just being some object that people beat up and abuse and just toss around, that sort of thing. But you know, I I do not see this ending well. Now, Sophie goes on to say about how this, her interaction with Peter was very empowering. It's a big moment for her. It was kind of a moment where she's voicing what everyone else is wanting her to say, and it's finally happening for her. It's a big thing for me, I think, because it was the first time that she's really stood on her own and been true to herself and been unafraid to say what she wants and say what she means. It was a very big moment, very very emotional. Now that's Sophie Turner's words in this interview. Now she goes on to they ask her, they ask her about why she lied to John, and again this confirms some of my suspicions. So she says she doesn't tell John because it's difficult, because she doesn't have that Stark way about her anymore. She's been broken down. She no longer feels like she can be completely honest with anyone, even her own family. Also, she doesn't want to tell John, I think, because she wants all the information and all the power in her court when it comes to Littlefinger. Because, in brackets, with Littlefinger, she can do whatever she wants with him now. He owes her big time and she wants the ball in her court. Of course, they go on to asking, will this turn out well for Sansa? And they say time will tell. Now, if you watch other videos, I definitely don't think this is going to turn out well. One thing I see about the Starks is that, you know, for a plethora of reasons. I mean, in part because they succeeded in taking over the North and ruling for so long by brute force, and essentially, quote unquote, playing by the rules, which in that day and age, in the Age of Heroes, and later on, it was essentially whoever's the strongest, rules. It wasn't a matter of who there was the most cunning or conniving or, agile and manipulative. Because of that, whenever they do, finally like reach their breaking point and decide to try to play the game or turn things around or do things differently, they end up stumbling. And like I think I mentioned earlier, there's an interesting scene in season one where Eddard, slams Peter up against the wall, is choking him, and you're a funny man, after he had been brought to that brothel by Peter, where Peter was essentially keeping Catelyn to kind of protect her at that point, and Peter says something along the lines of the Starks, they have quick tempers but slow brains, and I kind of see that with Sansa. I can see that. I mean, to some extent, I see that with John, or I've seen that with John. I'm hoping like his death and resurrection has changed him. I'm hoping that he doesn't continue to play out like that with Sansa. I mean, he definitely has a right to be totally ticked off at Peter and to want to just crush Ramsay. I mean, all the things that's been done to her. She has a right to. But when you go from being the victim, being the person who wants to play by the rules 100% of the time, and you want to quote unquote be bad in order to get revenge or to right things or to accomplish some grand goal, you really have to know how to do that in order that you don't stumble, you don't get played up. Because Peter, I think he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing when it comes to Sansa. He knows what he's doing when it comes to you know all these telling her and whatnot. And she needs to react in a way that he's not going to expect, you know. And lying to John is definitely not helping the prospects for that occurring, because you know how when he before he walks up, he's like, "Oh, he's not really your brother. He's just your half brother." You know, it's like that whole like he's just kind of feeding into that divide, creating it and expanding it. You know, and he definitely I think he knew that he would be able to get Sansa to not trust to not trust John or anyone. So yeah, this article. It's very interesting. It is long, but then again, they do cover a lot in it. So winteriscoming.net, and it definitely did confirm a lot of my suspicions. Um, I just I hope my speculations aren't entirely true, because I am, you know, Team Stark and all that. But they're gonna have to learn how to really play the game, how to be bad and that sort of thing when it's necessary, and not rush in, because rushing in is gonna get them killed. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a nice day, evening, night,